For years, the skies have been ruled by Boeing and Airbus, two aerospace giants that have gone virtually unchallenged in the commercial jet market. But now, something unexpected is taking off. China's COMAC C919, once dismissed as a local experiment, has just landed a game-changing customer no one saw coming. It's bold, it's strategic, and it could completely shift the global balance of power in aviation. So, who made the shocking decision to buy the C919? And what does this mean for the future of global aviation? Well, stick around to find out. For decades, commercial aviation has been dominated by two names, Boeing and Airbus. Between them, they've controlled over 90% of the single-aisle aircraft market, with jets like the 737 and the A320 forming the backbone of short to medium-haul travel around the world. China, however, has quietly been working on changing that. And with that, they have developed the COMAC C919, the country's first large domestically developed narrow-body passenger jet designed to go head-to-head with the Western giants. The C919 is the flagship project of COMAC, the Commercial Aircraft Corporation of China. Established in 2008 with heavy state backing, its mission is straightforward: reduce China's reliance on imported aircraft and establish a homegrown alternative that can compete internationally. The aircraft was officially launched in 2008 with its first prototype unveiled in 2015. After several years of testing, development delays, and regulatory hurdles, the C919 received its type certification from China's Aviation Authority in September 2022. The first commercial delivery followed in December 2022, going to China Eastern Airlines. So, what exactly is the C919 offering? The aircraft is designed to carry between 158 and 168 passengers depending on configuration, with a maximum range of about 3,452 miles or 5,555 kilometers. It's intended to serve domestic and regional routes, the bread and butter of the aviation market where demand is constantly growing, especially in Asia. From a design standpoint, it features a modern aerodynamic profile, fly-by-wire controls, and an advanced flight deck. While it borrows a lot from its Western counterparts, it's engineered to be a cost-effective alternative, promising lower acquisition and operational costs. What makes the C919 particularly strategic isn't just the plane itself, it's the ambition behind it. China isn't simply building aircraft. It's building an aviation industry. COMAC's long-term plan is to capture at least one-third of the domestic single-aisle market and expand internationally over time. With over 1,000 orders on paper, mostly from Chinese carriers, the C919 is positioned to become the backbone of China's growing aviation sector. But here's where it gets interesting. No one expected a player outside China to show serious interest, especially not a major global airline. And that's exactly what makes the next part of this story so compelling. When word got out that Emirates was in talks to purchase China's COMAC C919, the aviation world was shocked. This wasn't just another aircraft order. It was a major global carrier known for its luxury wide bodies and premium branding, showing serious interest in a Chinese-made narrow-body jet that until now had only been flown by domestic Chinese airlines. No press release has officially confirmed it, but multiple industry sources and insider leaks have pointed to Emirates as the mysterious international buyer that's now shaking up the aviation status quo. So, why is this such a big deal? Because Emirates doesn't usually take chances on unproven aircraft. Their current fleet is built around long-haul powerhouses like the Boeing 777 and the Airbus A380. Planes designed for high-capacity ultra-long-haul routes that match Dubai's position as a global hub. Not only that, Emirates has always leaned heavily on manufacturers with decades of operational history and proven track records. For a carrier of this scale and reputation to even consider the C919 means they see something worth the risk, or maybe they see an opportunity. The timing couldn't be more strategic. Both Boeing and Airbus are still recovering from post-pandemic production delays, supply chain bottlenecks, and backlogs that stretch years into the future. Emirates, like many airlines, has been stuck in a queue. But COMAC, they're hungry to break into new markets, and they're offering faster deliveries, flexible terms, and aggressive pricing that Western manufacturers simply aren't matching right now. There's also a fleet strategy shift in the air. Emirates has hinted for years at the need for a regional arm to serve shorter routes within the Middle East, South Asia, and Africa. Routes that don't make sense for a 777 or an A380. The C919, if it performs as promised, could fill that gap without the cost and weight of a long-haul jet. It's not about replacing the 777s. It's about plugging a hole that's been growing more obvious. This possible deal is more than just a surprise. It's a signal. Emirates isn't just buying planes. They're testing the future. And the real question now is why now? What changed that made one of the world's most loyal Boeing and Airbus customers look east for their next move? Timing in aviation is everything. And right now, the timing couldn't be better for a shake-up. Boeing and Airbus, the longtime rulers of the skies, are still playing catch-up after the massive disruption caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Supply chain breakdowns, labor shortages, and regulatory complications have caused significant delivery delays for both manufacturers. Airbus recently acknowledged it couldn't meet its 2025 production targets for the A320neo family, and Boeing is still working to stabilize its 737 MAX production, which has faced repeated quality control issues and FAA scrutiny. Airlines are now waiting 2, 3, or even 4 years for aircraft they ordered long ago. And for a growing number of carriers, that's just not acceptable anymore. This is where China comes in with an aircraft ready to fly now. COMAC isn't burdened by the same backlogs or supply constraints, largely because its order book is still manageable and supported by a government willing to throw its full weight behind delivery schedules. More importantly, China is willing to cut deals. The C919 is being offered at significantly lower prices compared to its Western competitors. Some reports suggest discounts of up to 30%. But the real edge isn't just price, it's flexibility. Chinese state-backed financial institutions are providing lease packages, low-interest loans, and maintenance incentives that make the C919 financially attractive, especially to markets that can't afford the ballooning costs of Airbus and Boeing jets. There's also a clear geopolitical current running through all this. China's deepening partnerships with Gulf countries have become more than just about oil and infrastructure. Over the last decade, trade between China and the Gulf Cooperation Council, GCC, countries has surged past $200 billion annually. Strategic investments in ports, telecoms, energy, and now aviation are all part of a bigger picture. For Gulf carriers, buying Chinese isn't just a business decision. It's increasingly a diplomatic one. Aligning with China comes with perks. Favorable trade terms, long-term economic partnerships, and a front-row seat in Beijing's global expansion strategy. All of these elements, Western delays, Chinese readiness, and global power realignment, are colliding at the perfect time. Airlines that were once locked into a two-horse race now have a third option knocking on their door. But there's a catch. Just because you can build a jet doesn't mean the world will trust it to fly. And that brings us to the next challenge, a massive one. Can the C919 truly earn global trust without the backing of Western certification and a proven safety record? For all the buzz surrounding the COMAC C919 and its potential to shake up the aviation industry, there's one unavoidable truth. It still hasn't been certified by the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, or the European Union Aviation Safety Agency, ISA. That's a major roadblock. Without those certifications, the C919 can't legally operate in the US, the European Union, and many other international markets that align their aviation standards with the West. It essentially limits the jet to domestic Chinese routes or a few friendly nations willing to fly without Western endorsement. A huge limitation for a company that wants to go global. Getting FAA or EASA certification isn't just a paperwork issue. It's an intense multi-year process. Aircraft must pass rigorous safety and reliability testing, and regulators often require extensive documentation, transparency, and repeatable results under various operating conditions. Boeing and Airbus benefit from decade-long relationships with these regulators. COMAC, on the other hand, is the new kid on the block, and there's already hesitation, not necessarily because of the aircraft's design, but because of its origin. Western skepticism toward Chinese-made tech runs deep in industries like smartphones or consumer electronics. China has already earned its place. But aviation is different. It's high stakes, safety first, and ultra-conservative for good reason. One technical fault at 35,000 feet is all it takes to turn excitement into catastrophe. This is where COMAC faces its biggest uphill climb. Proving not just to regulators, but to airlines, pilots, and passengers that the C919 is as safe, durable, and reliable as anything Boeing or Airbus offers. Then there's the operational side of things. Even if the aircraft itself performs well, global airlines need infrastructure. Spare parts, warehouses, trained mechanics, certified maintenance centers, pilot training programs, and 247 support lines. COMAC has none of that built out internationally. Without a solid after-air support system, no airline, especially outside China, will feel confident putting the C919 into regular service. Maintenance delays, unavailable parts, or software glitches without rapid technical support can ground planes for days, bleeding cash and eroding trust. So, yes, the C919 might be flying, but there is still a lot of challenges to overcome. Now, what do you think about this bold move by Emirates? Would you trust the C919 for your next flight, or stick with the old giants? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear what you think. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, give the video a like and hit that subscribe button for more such stories. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you in the next one.